Alright, so in this video is the last of angles. We are just looking at angles. We have been looking at angles, so if you have not watched the previous videos, then this will not make sense to you. But if you have watched the previous videos on angles, you understand angle of complementary angles, supplementary angles. Remember, if you know what supplementary angles are and complementary angles, then you come to look at the properties of angles in a straight line. We come to look at properties of angles in a triangle. Therefore, now today's lesson will be easy, which is, of course, find angles of elevation and depression. So angles of elevation and depression, they are very easy to find because these angles are straightforward. We create them each and every day of our lives. We form these angles knowingly or unknowingly sometimes. Now let us see how we form these angles. Now, what are angles of elevation? Angles of elevation and depression. If you are looking up towards an airplane, okay? If you are looking up towards an airplane, okay, or let's say you are looking up towards something, you form an angle called the angle of elevation. So when you look up towards something, you are going to form an angle, the angle that we call angle of elevation. Okay? When you look towards something, you form an angle of elevation. Let's say I'm looking towards the roof. Once I reach the roof there, I've formed an angle of elevation. This is my ground level. So when I look, let me demonstrate in this manner. When I look, this is my ground level. Okay, and I look up towards the roof. I'll form an angle of elevation from the ground level to where my eye is. I'm forming the angle of elevation. So this angle which is under here, it is the angle of elevation when I'm looking up. Okay, so that is what we are saying. Yes, and if you are looking down from the aeroplane, you form an angle of depression. You form an angle of what? Depression. Okay, so now I'll also demonstrate it another way. You form an angle of depression. Now, look at this boy. This boy looks like my friend I know in Jasmine. When you look at this Jasmine here, he's looking towards the aeroplane. Now, aeroplane here you can see we have a side of Jasmine. Okay, we have a side of Jasmine looking towards the aeroplane. Now, as he looks towards the aeroplane, he's forming an angle of elevation. So this angle here, it is the angle of elevation because this is the ground level, I can say. If you see, this is the ground level. When I look towards the plane there, I'm going to form an angle of elevation. So this is the angle of elevation that Jasmine is forming. And when it reaches, when now we say there's another friend of mine I know by the name of Scholastica. When Scholastica looks down, let's say we have Scholastica there. Of course, she's a girl, so I'm going to draw a girl here. This is Scholastica. She's seated. When Scholastica looks down to Jasmine, Scholastica forms an angle of elevation when the contact reaches Jasmine, and an angle of depression is automatically formed from the line of Scholastica here to this angle. It is formed the angle of depression. So, if for instance I'm up there and I look down, okay, when I'm looking down, I form an angle of elevation. When I meet the floor, my eye contact, once it touches the floor, it automatically creates the angle of elevation down there. But the angle of depression is created from here. Look where my eye contact is. My eye contact is here. There is an invisible straight line where I'm standing. So this invisible straight line, it forms an angle of depression because I'm looking down, so I'm forming an angle of depression. When you look down, you are forming an angle of depression. And when you reach the contact where you're looking at, you create an angle of elevation. That is how I can demonstrate this one. When you look up, you form an angle. When you look up, you form an angle of elevation. When you look down, you form an angle of depression. And down where you reach the contact, you form an angle of elevation. We shall see it in the example given there. Now let us look at the example. Maybe this will make sense here. An angle of depression, we are told here, look at this. Angle of depression, that is what we are going to formulate here. We are going to formulate an angle of depression. Now, how do we find an angle of depression? A cut lying at point A. So we have a cut that is lying at point A. Looks at a bend. This cut looks at a bend in the tree. So the bend is in the tree top. At point B, so we have point A where the cut is and point B where the bed is. The angle of elevation, the angle of elevation of the bed is 71. So meaning that the bed as it is on top of the tree, it looked down to see the cut. So when it looked down, it formed an angle of elevation of 71 degrees. It forms an angle of elevation 71 degrees. What is the angle of depression of the cut? So what is the angle of depression of the cut? What is the angle of depression of the cut from the bed at B? So that is how questions come. Now with these kind of questions, of course, they are asked in grade 12, final examination sometimes. So if they ask this kind of a question, all they need you to do, you cannot answer this without showing a demo. You have to demonstrate by showing a little sketch. So let us sketch. We are going to have our tree here. Solution. Let's draw our tree there. Okay. We have our tree there. So this is our beautiful tree. Now this tree reaches the ground level. It reaches the ground level because it has roots there. This is the tree, and we are told that the bed is just here on point A. So the bed is the one that is on the tree. So let me draw a big of a bed. So this is my bed there. So this bed looks down. This bed looks down. Okay, this is my point C. The bed is on point B. This is my point B. So the bed looks down where the cut is. Now this is where the cut is. So let me just draw the cut head. Okay, don't mind my drawing. I'm just sketching. So this is the cat's head. So this is point A. So when the bed looks down where the cat is, then this bed forms an angle of depression and an angle of elevation. Remember, where the bed is, there is an invisible line here from the contact of the bed here, where it looks, it will formulate the line which is horizontal, where in other words you can say this is where the bed is on this line. The bed is on this line. And beyond this, we don't know what is there. So the bed looks down where the cat is. And when it reaches the cat, it forms an angle of elevation. So an angle of elevation cannot be formed here. No, this cannot be an angle of elevation. But this one here, it is the angle of elevation, which is the 71 degrees. You see that? It has formed because when you look down, when you look down like this, when you look down, you don't form an angle of elevation. No, you create an angle of depression. Where your contact reaches, you create an angle of elevation from there. So this bed looks down. The angle of elevation is 71 degrees. The angle of depression is what we don't know. This angle here, we don't know. This is the angle of depression which the bed has formed. Hence the question they are asking us to find the angle of depression. That's what the bed is asking us. The question, find the angle of depression. So how do I find the angle of depression? Now you can see this is a straight line and this is a straight line. Both of these lines, they are parallel to each other. They are parallel to each other, meaning that they can never meet these lines. So if we know that they can never meet, therefore now we go back to the properties of a straight line, angles in a straight line. Remember, this now becomes, we can extend this, this now becomes our transversal line. Now, if this becomes our transversal line, which is here, becomes our transversal line. Therefore, now, according to the properties of two parallel lines, when the transversal cuts, it forms two angles which are equal. Okay, so now look at this one. This angle which is here, it's more like there's a Z here. This is Z. Look at this. This is a Z I've created. This angle which is here, it is equal to this angle which is there. That is about the Z root, or you can call it the alternate angles. Alternate angles are equal. Alternate angles are equal only if they are in two parallel straight lines. So if this is 71, therefore this also will be 71. So we are going to say the angle of depression of A. So what is the angle of depression? The angle of depression. The angle of depression is 71 degrees. Okay, 71 degrees. Why is it 71? Because alternate angles, because alternate angles are equal. Okay. Angles are equal. Because alternate angles are equal. Look at this. This is alternate to this one. So these angles, they are equal without any question. So this is how you answer this question. All you need to do is to apply the concept you have learned. So if you didn't watch the first video, the second video, hence you cannot be able to solve this kind of a question. Okay, you cannot be able to solve this kind of a question. So this is how you look at this one. So any question in this kind of a manner, just know if they give you this one will be equal. That is all. In other words, you are simply saying that the angle of depression is equal to the angle of elevation in this kind of a scenario. Okay, simple. Now let's look at another example. There's another example now is finding the angle of elevation. Here we want to find the angle of elevation. This was the angle of depression. Now here it is the angle. How to find the angle of elevation? So what to see how we can find the angle of elevation. Okay, how do we find the angle of elevation? We have a demonstration there which says a girl stands at the window of a building. A girl stands at the window of a building. She looks down. Okay, she looks down at the ground below through an angle of depression of 45 degrees and sees a small rat. Find x, the angle of elevation of this girl from the rat. So, what are they telling us here? This girl, so by the name of Jane, she looks down, and when she looks down, she sees a. What does she see? She sees something down there, and this something is the rat. Now, when she looks at she sees the rat. She created an angle of depression of 45 because look, you are up here. And when you look down, you automatically create an angle of depression which is 45. Now find the angle of elevation which is x. You see, this is the angle of elevation. So how do I do? So you are going to say the angle of depression will be here, according from the side of this girl. So if you have a straight line there. Okay, we have a straight line where this girl's side ends. So the angle of depression they are talking about here is this one, which they have given you to be 45 degrees. Okay, that is the angle of depression they have given you to be 45 degrees. This is 45 degrees. That's the angle of depression. Now find the angle of elevation. You see, this one and this one, there's no difference. How we find this one is how we find that one. By using the rule of alternate angles, they are equal. So if this is 45, also the x is also 45. Straightforward. So the angle of elevation, so we find this one, so we are simply saying that, therefore, the angle of elevation is 45 degrees. So you see, there's no need of solving here. It's just knowing the angles. When you know them, then you are safe. But if you don't know them, you are not safe. So I would advise you to go and watch the videos. Watch the videos closely if you have not done so, and you discover that the work is very easy. So this is how you work out angle of elevation and angle of depression. So this is the end of the lesson. This is the end of angles. Okay, so just in case you forgot, remember, if you are looking at a straight line, let me just remind you, just in case you forgot, a straight line, let me do it here so that I don't disturb the rest of those ways. Okay, remember, a straight line adds up to 180 degrees. Okay, once we have a straight line and we have this is a straight line and we have a vertical line which is cutting the straight line perpendicular, it creates two angles which is 90 degrees. This is 90 degrees, and also the other side is 90 degrees. So, in a situation whereby they ask a question, okay, they ask a question like in this manner, we have this, I saw this kind of a question in the past paper. They will tell you that this is 90 degrees. They also extend this line, they bring it like this. They tell you that from here to there, we have 120 degrees from here to there. But this one is our x. And again, they will cut another line there. They will tell you that from here, okay, let's say this is 45 degrees. Then what is my x? That is my y. So I've seen this kind of a question. So these lines which are here, angles, they are very helpful. If I have y there and I have x there, and I have 120, note that from here, all the way from here to there, I'm forming 180 degrees. The whole of this is 180 degrees. And the whole of this again is 180 degrees. Now, a circle adds up to 360 degrees. So if I want to find the value of x here, all I need to do is to subtract x is equal to 180 minus 120. Then I'll find the value of x. So it means that it will be 0 and I have 6 there. So I have 60. So meaning my value of x is 60 degrees. I found my value of x to be 60 degrees. What about my value of y? You do the same. Y is equal to 180 minus 45. You have your answer to be 5 then 7 there, then you have 3 and 1. So we have 135. So this angle which is here, it is 135. That is what 35. So this is how you work out the question in this scenario. Okay, hopefully I've made this clear. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow and comment on my YouTube channel so that I get to know how best I can help you and see the way forward. Remember, exam is made easy by Mr. Silvana. If you don't like mathematics, it will always be difficult. So you need to learn to love it and like it. It will be easy for you. Otherwise, that is the end of angles. The next topic, it will be construction. That's why today I was using the board ruler to show you that the next lesson will be construction. You need a mathematical set, and when I say mathematical set, I mean complete mathematical set with all the instrument element inside there. So, and a 30 centimeter rule. So my dear ones, please make sure that you find this mathematical set because we are starting construction now. As for now, we end from here. God bless. See you in the next lesson video. I'm so excited for construction.